Welcome to the Egg Whisperer Show, a podcast exclusively designed to create more reproductive health awareness and discuss your fertility preservation options. Here is your host, the Harvard-educated fertility specialist, Dr. Aimee.
Tonight's show is all about how to plan your fertility future. You don't have to be a fertility specialist to do that. You don't really have to have much basic science background at all. So I want to teach everyone who's listening the basics of planning their fertility, just like you were to plan, let's say, a vacation. So step one, in order to be able to do that, you really just have to know one thing. And I know I'm being kind of funny when I say this, but the one thing, if everyone who's planning their fertility future should know, it's that you're not a bunny. Yes, I did just say that. You're not a bunny. I'm not a bunny. You're not a bunny. So what is it about human beings that makes us different than bunnies? Well, human beings ovulate one egg a month. Unlike bunnies that are induced ovulators, meaning they ovulate with every act of intercourse, we don't do that. So at most, we ovulate one egg a month, and that egg that gets ovulated may not necessarily be a healthy egg. So the chance that an egg is actually healthy is only about 15% at best, and that's when we're in our 20s. So as we get older, the chance that an egg is actually genetically viable goes down. So women have a finite number of eggs, and unfortunately there are so many women out there, and that's what I'm trying to do by educating everybody, that are ready to have kids at a time when their eggs are not as healthy. So if you realize when you're, let's say, planning your fertility future, that number one, you're not a bunny. Number two, each ovulation has at best a 15% chance of turning into a pregnancy, and that getting pregnant can take 6 months for up to 85% of people, and sometimes over a year for about 1 in 8. And not only that, when you're planning your future, is to know that about 20%, some studies say closer to 25, maybe even 30% of all human pregnancies actually end really early. Sometimes so early people don't even know they're pregnant, but a lot of times in the first trimester. And it's not because you did anything wrong or did anything to deserve the abnormal pregnancy, but it's just part of the human experience. So when you're, let's say, considering an egg freeze, which is IVF without the F, get it? Without the F is fertilization. So when you're doing that, you're actually rescuing eggs from being lost. So what does that basically make me? I mean, you think I'm a fertility doctor, but I'm actually an egg rescuer. And that's what fertility treatment is. Fertility treatment is rescuing eggs from being lost, and you can never get them back again. Fertility treatment isn't about helping people run out of eggs too soon or going into menopause early. That's not what it's about. So as an egg rescuer, I want people to know what their levels are, what their fertility chances are at the age that they're at. So this is how you basically plan your fertility future. If you know how to plan a vacation, this is something that everyone can do. So I found this picture and I said, oh my gosh, this place is gorgeous. Where is it? This is the Maldives. When you're looking at this beautiful scenery, the first thing I ask myself is, what do I want? And I want to go there, okay? Then the next thing is, what is it going to take to get what I want? Well, I want to go there, so what is it going to take? How long does it take me to get to the Maldives? About 30 hours. And that's probably really expensive too, maybe. So 30 hours, some money, saving some money, and lots of planning. The majority of Americans actually do that. They plan trips, they plan vacations, they plan them not just months in advance, but they plan them years in advance. Pregnancy is the most important trip of your life, the most. But some people actually have difficulty doing it. So if you actually take time in the very beginning, perhaps, of your relationship or in your early 20s to plan your fertility future, you hopefully will have a little bit less of a struggle. And I want to save, if I can save one person from that struggle, then I've done my job. So I just went through the 3 things, and these are the 3 things that I basically live my life by, the 3 rules. What do I want? what is it going to take to get what I want, and am I willing to do it? So when it comes to fertility, you can do just that and be honest, realize that these things are going to change, and be concrete. So I am 41 years old, okay? 41. Let's just say I want a pregnancy. So I want to be pregnant. So what is it going to take to get what I want? Well, at 41, let's be concrete here. At 41, the chance that an egg is going to be genetically viable is around 10%. So it might take fertility treatment. It might take lots of doctor's visits. And then if I'm willing to do what it takes, then I'm going to move forward with doing just that. But let's say I change what I want to, well, I want 2 children. Well, then perhaps at 41, because we know, let's say in 2 or 3 years at 42 or 43, that it's going to actually be much harder, much harder to get pregnant. Then you want to realize that if you start with number 1 and be really honest with yourself, and then write down exactly what it's going to take, and then go do just that. So back to my beach picture. What do people do before they go to Hawaii? I have friends, and this is what they do. They show up, and I say to them, did you just get back from your trip? And they say, no, I'm getting ready for my trip. I'm like, what do you mean you're getting ready? Well, I've been going to the gym every day. I've been self-tanning 3 times a week, and I have this new vegan diet that I'm following. Okay, so shouldn't we be doing that as well when it comes to pregnancy? I mean, not that, but what I'm saying is pay attention to the details of what it's going to take and do that. So if you're planning this trip, which is your desired vacation, then get yourself ready, so to speak. I'm not talking about the superficial stuff. I'm talking about the actual things that you need to do. Medically speaking, you have high blood pressure. Go to the medical doctor and get your blood pressure down. See a fitness specialist. Get some weight off. Change your diet. Those kinds of things are the things that you should do so that once you are pregnant, you want to stay pregnant and give yourself the best chance of having a healthy pregnancy. And going into a healthy pregnancy, there are tests that you can do from a genetic standpoint to make sure that your genes, and let's say, if I'm a woman and I need a sperm cell, the genetic makeup of both things together are compatible so that you don't, let's say, both carry a disease that may result in a pregnancy that may not be as healthy. And basically, I want to save people from having a surprise that they otherwise could have prevented. I'm actually going to go back to my 3 pineapples just as a reminder for the 3 things. And if you forget, or actually you think, that you don't have the health background to figure out how to plan your fertility future, you just have to ask yourself very simply, what do I want? And if it's as simple as I want a child, and I want a child at this age, then be very honest about what it's going to take. Because if at that age your levels are a certain way, then perhaps you should think about doing something a little bit proactively than perhaps waiting until, let's say, you're 39, 40, 42, and older. Well, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope that every single person who is watching gets and has the family of their dreams. And I want everyone to live the life of their dreams. And if that includes a family, well, I want you to have the family of your dreams as well.
Thank you so much for listening and making the Egg Whisperer Show a part of your weekly routine. To find show notes and a full transcript for this episode, visit draimee.org and look under the blog tab. While you're there, you can find a link for the Egg Whisperer newsletter, which keeps you in the know about fertility news. You can also find Dr. Aimee and the Egg Whisperer Show on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook. If you'd like to learn even more, Dr. Aimee offers classes at the Egg Whisperer School, eggwhispererschool.com, or you can request a consultation on draimee.org. Thank you so much for tuning in and for sharing the Egg Whisperer Show with others. Keep sparkling and have a great day.